me tell you, Rosamund Pike did exceptional because I can't stand this lady and she better stay the hell away from my grandma. So Halle Berry can break out the psych hospital in Gothica, but Jennifer can't break out the dang nursing home? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki. I'm Nikki, and in this video I will be reviewing and recapping the movie I Care a Lot, about a legal guardian that preys on the elderly in order to drain them of their money and assets. Now, our main character, Marla, played by Rosamund Pike, was so freaking unlikable. I could not stand this lady. Following her throughout this story was extremely frustrating. I can't with Marla, which means the filmmakers and the actress did a great job because I was ready to slap fire at this lady. The premise of this story is extremely dark. The scene of Marla standing in front of this board that she has with pictures of all the elderly people that she is currently preying on. Y'all, looking at that literally broke my heart. That was so sad. But then at the end, towards the end of the movie, when she stands in front of a full wall full of pictures, y'all, I literally could barely stomach looking at that. It is not only a dark premise, but it also hits just elements of reality, which makes it even more hard to stomach, in my opinion. For me, this movie got a lot of things right and just a few things wrong, but those few things were pivotal. Now, Marla works in partnership with a doctor who hands over files of some of her most difficult patients for Marla to make her victims. Now, she ends up pitching that she has found just this golden goose, this golden egg, Jennifer Peterson, a retired, wealthy, elderly woman with no children, no family, no ties. But unbeknownst to any of them, Jennifer Peterson is not at all who she seems to be. Now, a lawyer ends up showing up at Marla's office with a suitcase full of money, right? He offers Marla $300,000 to release Jennifer, which Marla turns down. Now, I wish they would have maybe made mention of just how much money Marla stood to gain from Jennifer in comparison to the $300,000, because to me, I would think that someone like Marla running a scam like this would be interested in easy marks. Like, if something is difficult, I would think they would just cut ties. Who this woman, Jennifer Peterson, is, or who hired the lawyer, wouldn't be as paramount, as this woman is not as easy of a target. It's not as golden of an egg as we thought. Because, I mean, part of the glow for them was that she had no kids, no family, no ties. Nobody to care. I don't know, but for me, it just didn't seem smart for Marla to fight so hard to hold on to Jennifer. I get that as things progress, Marla is obsessed with winning, right? But just in these very beginning stages, it just didn't seem smart to hold on to Jennifer. And I didn't see the purpose once we knew that Jennifer wasn't just an easy mark. I would think she just cut ties. Now, getting into some of the things they did wrong with this film, one of the biggest for me is how incompetent they had the Russian mob child in this movie. I mean, this was like, this was ridiculous. It was like the Scooby-Doo bad guys. Now, the lawyer gets a hearing to get Jennifer released, right, and does not even have the sense, the wherewithal to forge Jennifer's signature on a document showing she retaining him as her lawyer. I mean, come on now. I feel like as an amateur, you would have known to do that. And I'm not sure if I call it a flaw per se, but Lord Jesus, it worked my nerve just how naive and easy that dang judge was. It would have made more sense to me if he was in on the scam. He just was so freaking dumb. Dumb. But also, why the hell was this the only judge Marla ever got? I mean, is that how family court works? I'm not familiar. Is there only one singular judge that presides over all family court cases? But anyway, the logic the judge had just did not make any sense to me at all. To say that because some people abuse or take advantage of their elderly family, you're going to cast a wide net to keep all family away. Anytime she would say, well, Judge, we've seen blah, blah, blah. So what they got to do in this case? Because you saw that in another, I don't know. I would also think that constantly ruling in Marla's favor would be biased. The judge is familiar with her and consistently follows her, listens to her no matter the opposing argument. Child, isn't that the definition of bias, or at least enough to give the perception of bias in order for people to be able to get his rulings in these cases overturned? I don't know, child. Now, back to the in-that Russian mob, like, y'all. So, child, they killed Jennifer's doctor who colluded with Marla, right? The point now is to get Jennifer freed from the nursing home. So, why not get the doctor, by like threat or force to either go into court and expose the fraud and get Jennifer released? Or if you gonna kill her, why not get her to leave a suicide letter exposing the fraud? The foundation of what Marla does is based on the elderly person's doctor saying, Zaya, you can't be by the tripod. Come in, Zaya. Saying that the person has dementia, diminishing capacities, etc., that requires that they need legal guardianship. I would think if you got the doctor, then that's checkmate right there. So Marla's business partner and girlfriend, Fran, discovers that the old lady stole the identity of a dead child named Jennifer Peterson, and how intricate of an identity theft this is, work history, taxes, etc. I would be looking at this ish like, bro, who we playing with? I mean, obviously this sounds like powerful people we shouldn't mess with. Like, this sounds like some ish we just shouldn't be involved with. So they discover Jennifer is involved with the Russian mob. Now, y'all, for me, if I hear cartel, Russian mob, I mean, it's where when you hear it, you gonna be like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm not effing with that. That's what I would think the average person would be thinking. But no, Marla ain't give a ish. She had the gall to think that she could take on the dang Russian mob. And I'm just not understanding the thought process. A huge flaw in this movie for me is the fact that not at one single point were there any real stakes for Marla. And having our protagonist not have any real stakes or threat creates an atmosphere of just no tension or suspense. And I mean, for a movie like this, that is just not fun. Marla facing off with the mob was way too easy. I mean, like, god dang, for real. And honestly, it was laughable. I was under the impression that Marla was going to meet her match. Nah, bruh. Not at all. She beat them easy. She was even talking to the dang mob boss crazy when she first met. Bro, who do that? Who do that? So Jennifer has a son, Roman, played by my guy, Peter Dinklage, who faked his death. So according to authorities, he was dead. And for his mother's safety, he changed her identity, right? Now, he ends up kidnapping Marla and taking her out somewhere secluded, the type of place you go where people can't hear your screams, so you feel like they finna really do something. Y'all, to call this scene disappointing is an understatement. Roman punches her, but child, to be the dang mob, to be a mob boss, and to be all out somewhere secluded, this was weak threatening. I mean, they might as well have just met at the neighborhood coffee shop if this was just what they was gonna do. Roman didn't break any bones, break some fingers, chop off her hand. I mean, it's that I would think is what you gonna face when you get yoked up by a dang Russian mob boss. Then the biggest ball drop of all was the fact that they did not pull her girlfriend, Fran, out in front of her to torture as incentive to release his mama. I mean, Ain't that mob rules 101? You always go after the person's loved one as leverage. Y'all, when I saw Fran was not dead, I was so freaking annoyed. I mean, like, I really was. I was like, child, there are no stakes. Marla has not been hit. She ain't really losing nothing in a real way. And we over halfway through with the story at this point. Child, the way Marla and Fran were allowed to just keep winning was infuriating. And not even just keep winning, like whatever, win, but keep walking away unscathed when they just regular old folk up against the dang Russian mob. Y'all ain't got, come on now. I mean, they should have walked away maimed at the very least. Because, let's be real, Fran ass should have been dead. She should have. Because that's the first thing I'm going after. I could not believe when Roman tried to threaten Marla with video of her mom, and she just ain't give a ish about her mama. My G, her mama is nowhere in sight. Like, y'all niggas ain't do no homework. The girlfriend was right there. Why didn't you use her to threaten Marla with? Why is you putting up video of a motherfucking mama? That's just something like, y'all. Now, I was into the first half of the movie. The performances were really on point, and also mainly due to where I thought the story would go. I was hoping Jennifer actually would be the one to outsmart Marla, who underestimated the elderly and thought they were just easy victims. I mean, for someone like Marla to get beaten by an elderly woman would have been so freaking good, if you ask me. But hey, you ain't asked me. Having the tables turn on Marla, like, yeah, bitch, you picked the wrong victim. But in the movie, she actually picked the right victim because Jennifer leads her to acquiring the American dream, which I'll get into later, child, because it's ridiculous. But I mean, Marla went into this thinking that Jennifer was just another helpless or powerless old person. How good would it have been to have Jennifer be the one to take Marla down? They really wasted the actress playing Jennifer, in my opinion. I mean, just really underutilized. Child, so, okay, hold on. Let me get this straight. So, Halle Berry can break out the psych hospital in Gothica, but Jennifer can't break out the dang nursing home? Now, the second half of the movie, child, talk about goes downhill. It felt almost silly in how implausible it was. The freaking murder attempt and kidnapping of the mob boss. I ain't got no other word besides silly. So Roman has his men use chloroform to put Marla out. Then they put some mess up her nose. Y'all, what the hell was that? What did they put up Marla's nose? Because they never really tell the audience and nothing comes of it. She walk away just fine. Unless what they put up her nose was really something to counteract the chloroform, because she woke up quicker than I'm up. Like, she was up. But since they tossed a bottle of alcohol in the car, I'm going to deduce that they were pumping her with liquor to, you know, make it look like she crashed, died, drunk, or whatever. Now, they put her in the car to look as though she crashes and dies. But, child, she wake up so quick, like I said, underwater. She kicks out the back window of the car. Now, child, look, her mouth was wide open the whole time, just kicking out that back window. And I swear, this is amateur-ish. Why the hell did the henchmen just freaking leave? Why wouldn't they be standing up there watching the car go into the water? Why wouldn't they be standing there for a good amount of time it would take for her to drown, and make sure that she is actually dead before leaving? And why didn't they just flat out kill Fran? I mean, they beat the girl up. So, I mean, it can't be that they wanted this to look like an accident. Nobody freaking accidentally get beat to death and then accidentally die from gas. So if you was gonna beat the girl up, you might as well just kill her. And how much time passed? Because let's see, the henchman beat up Fran, had the gas going, kidnapped Marla. She had a nice little chat with Roman. Then they went to set up her fake death. Then she walked to a gas station. Then she waited for a cab to come. Then the cab drove her all the way back home. And the house still hadn't blown the heck up. How much time passed, bro? Nigga, how long does it take for the house to blow up? Then for the rest of the movie, what, the cops weren't looking for the residents of the house that blew the hell up? Child, why the hell didn't Roman just bribe or threaten the doctor at the nursing home to let his mama go in the beginning? I mean, since they were too dumb to bribe or threaten the primary care doctor, there is just way too much stupidity for me to really enjoy this film. I mean, everything was just so contrived and implausible. I mean, come on now, man. Come on now. The tone of the movie feels a lot like satire to me. Is it supposed to be satire? I would have liked if the Russian mob element of the movie was just way more sinister and an actual threat to Marla. So Marla and Fran make a plan, and they follow Roman's driver, who leads them to Roman. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, child, how the heck does a mob henchman not notice that he being followed? There is a scene where he is driving along this long, empty road with only Marla and Fran behind him. And you mean to tell me he ain't noticed that he was being followed? Child, I noticed when the same car done been behind me for more than a dang block. Y'all, this was ridiculous. Why weren't there security cameras in the building? The building Roman was in that Marla went into. Security should have swarmed on Marla when she was creeping through the building. Then, if I'm with a dang mob boss, I would not have let anyone get close to me. I don't care if it's a woman. That part was dumb as well. Marla should not have been able to get close enough to the henchman outside the SUV to tase him. No way. And yes, I get the theme of underestimating her because she's a woman. But look, my G, the mob, the cartel, they not letting man, woman, or child run up on them, period. It ain't smart. In a business like that, everybody a threat. Nah, they kidnap Roman and shoot him up with drugs. But child, where they get these drugs and syringes from that they used on Roman? You know what? I won't even nitpick. Never mind. So anyway, Roman wakes up in the hospital with Marla as his legal guardian. Now, child, is Marla the only legal guardian in the area? How Roman automatically go to her? Apparently, if you're a John Doe and suicide risk, you get assigned a legal guardian. But how was he assigned to Marla? Now, this part was crazy as well. This lady kidnapped your mama, holds her in a nursing home, and then holds her in a psych hospital because after Jennifer attacks Marla, she gets her moved to a psych ward. I mean, she pretty much kidnaps, tortures your mama, you could call it torture, and you just go offer her a business deal? I don't understand. I mean, no get back for everything she done. Child, I don't buy that. Now, there is a scene when the movie opens up where Marla is in court to keep one of her victim's son from being able to visit his mother, right? And when I tell y'all, I motherfucking called it. My G, I called it. That this would be like Benny Blanco from the Bronx in Carlito's Way. Old boy mom died in the nursing home alone. The son was never able to visit her. Now, obviously, this did not play out as well as Carlito's Way, but after Marla has built this empire and her and Fran are now married, old boy runs up on Marla and shoots her. Now, in my opinion, the ending felt rushed and forced, not very well thought out. Then, when they kept shoving shots of the wedding rings and blood, like, nigga, am I supposed to feel sorry for them or something? No, I feel sorry for the old people. And why did Fred get away scot-free with everything? He should have shot her as well because she was just as culpable. She was in on the ish. For me, the ending was not satisfying at all. I have no qualms with an unscrupulous lead, but I need them to get their proper comeuppance at the end of the story. Getting shot was an easy way out for Marla. She needed to get exposed, to suffer and hurt the way that she did all those old folk. Marla needed to be stripped of her dignity and self-respect like she told Jennifer, like she did all the other old folk. I really don't know what the writer was thinking because Marla made it clear to Roman that she ain't kept nothing about dying. She only cared about losing. So what kind of full circle moment in the story is it for her to die but never lose? And I am really, where is Fran comeuppance? Where is Fran comeuppance? She gets away with everything and she rich, she keep the money. And all the old folks still suffering because Fran's still there. Roman's still there. But look, child, let me tell you, Rosamund Pike did exceptional because I can't stand this lady and she better stay the hell away from my grandma. Another issue I have with the ending is that Roman never gets his comeuppance neither. Now see, they show us in the story that he is using women as drug mules. Implied, I would think from the pictures, that he is kidnapping these women and forcing them. So I mean, where is his comeuppance? In many ways, the writer created a really great character with Marla. She was freaking evil, smart, cold-hearted. I just don't like where they went with the story. Why the hell was Marla constantly giving these I am woman, hear me roar speeches? Like, baby, just because you want to be just as evil as men, girl, that ain't feminism, not child. When Marla was talking about people coming for her, men coming for her because she a woman, I was like, girl, you are scamming elderly folk. Could that be why people are coming for you? Not because you a woman, child. Marla's speeches of the American dream and being a lion, etc. I get these themes they tried to explore with this movie. I just wish that they would have done a better job. I love an unlikable protagonist. I love an unscrupulous story that is thought-provoking. I also really enjoyed the fact that we did not get some freaking sob story, some big, like, revealing backstory for the audience to excuse or empathize with Marla and her actions. I cannot stand that whole, like, my parents beat me, people were terrible to me, now I'm terrible to other people. I can't stand that crap. I really am glad they did not do that. I mean, it's the main reason why I stopped watching Catfish. Sorry, off topic, but it really just grinds my gears when people do really horrible-ish to other people, and then we're given a sob story to make us like we supposed to feel sorry for them. Nah, bro, I feel sorry for the victim. I don't give an issue about your sob story. I really like that they did not do that in this movie, and it actually like make me hate Marla even more, which I think works better in the story. We're supposed to not like Marla. Marla did horrible things, period. We ain't need no sob story. I would give this movie a solid 5 out of 10, which is the score of an average movie. Like I said, I enjoyed the first half, but the last half really spiraled in how unrealistic it was. But even in being unrealistic and being a little let down towards the end of the movie, it wasn't a horrible watch. This story was really disturbing. I mean, the fact that you can have a hearing and decide somebody's fate without them even being present, without them being able to obtain legal counsel, without them being able to, counter or argue this is outrageous. I mean, where are the safety measures? Are we solely going by one doctor's word? The fact that people are just in their house chilling and you can come knock on the door and take them to a nursing home and take their cell phone and bar them from communicating with the outside world, bar them from communicating with or seeing their own son. Child, I'm about to go tell my mama right now, make me her legal something. I don't know what it's called. Even though she only 50. But child, make me her legal something so I don't have to worry about a day Marla creeping up on my motherfucking mama. Because I'm blowing the nursing home up. Well, I guess I can't do that if mama in there. But y'all know what I'm trying to say, child. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you watched until the end. If you like my content, please make sure you support the channel by liking, commenting, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will be alerted when I post TV show and movie reviews and recaps. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.